What's up, guys? Welcome back to Punk Rock Radar, where today John and I are gonna be picking our top five favorite Sublime songs. Now, John wanted me to do the intro here because I've always been a much bigger Sublime fan. I think I probably had to force him to do a little bit of this, but Sublime was a really important band for me growing up. 40 Ounce of Freedom is how I got introduced to the Descendants and Bad Religion, because they had the covers on there. So that was a really important record. I loved everything Sublime did. I mean, they were definitely one of the first bands I was a super fan of. So this is going to be a lot of fun for me to at least pick the ones that I love. Hopefully, we have some random picks and ones maybe you haven't really given a second chance, and maybe now you can. So, Don, you want to add anything about Sublime? I know you know them obviously, but
Yeah,
like,
I will
what's your
say,
relationship?
don't expect many deep cuts from me. I am a very not hardcore Sublime fan. It's a band that I had the self-titled, of course, a band like I had the greatest hits, but it's not never been one of my favorite bands. Like the songs I picked are all really good, so this was pretty easy for me to pick my favorites. But it's a band that I never got super into, but I should have because listening back to these songs again, I was like they were pretty damn good. But Lewis, like you said, this is one of your favorites, so I'm gonna pass it to you first to go over your first of your top five Sublime tracks. So what have you got for us?
Well, you said greatest hits. So my first pick is greatest hits, not off of greatest hits, but off of Robin the Hood. So I think by now most people with the internet and access to everything finally had a chance to listen to Robin the Hood. But, back when we were younger, I feel like people didn't even know this album existed, or they just didn't own it because they had self-titled, and then maybe their older brother had 40 ounce. So obviously, Robin the Hood was kind of nestled in there as like this lo-fi experience, but my God, it has some of Sublime's best songs. I mean, the greatest hits being one of them. I just love everything about this: the riff, the melody. I mean, it just hits perfectly. A good ska song. One that always stuck with me. So, John, any thoughts on greatest hits?
I'll be honest, man, I need to listen to it still. I don't know if I've ever listened to Robin the Hood all the way through. I'll be someday, not my cigarette. I think so, like I said, guys, you're gonna get Die Hard and then kind of a very casual fan perspective. And just to kind of hammer that home, my first pick here is gonna be What I Got off the self-titled, which is how I found out about Sublime. They had What I Got was on one of those late night like infomercials for like 90s alternative compilation CD, and they used to play like a 3 to 5 second clip of each song, as the songs were scrolling down the middle of the screen. And What I Got was on one of those, and I remember like I really liked the clip of that song, so eventually I got that comp, and I think later on I got the CD from Lewis, of course, because he was my sole source of pirated CDs back in the day. But I really like this one, and I even like the what is it, like a reprise version on the back half of the CD too. Easily one of my favorite Sublime songs. I know it's one of the singles, so a little bit of a cheat. But Lewis, any thoughts on this one?
I mean, dude, it's a banger. Don't need
Yeah.
to apologize. I mean, as featured, I believe, in Dave Mira's Freestyle DMX, right? So it's a great song. So you got nothing to apologize for. It's a really good one. So I'll switch it up a little bit though, and don't worry, I'll get to self-titled. But for my next one, I'm going back to 40 Ounce to Freedom, and I'm going to pick Don't Push, another kind of mid-tempo ska reggae song. Definitely my favorite off the album. I love most of this album in general. A lot of the songs sound the same, don't really have a lot of differences as compared to like the later stuff, but a really good one. This album, just in general, 40 Ounce. I remember getting this via Columbia House, I believe it was, with a fake assumed name, and then they sent you a bunch of CDs, and then you're supposed to like buy more CDs, right? Well, I never bought those CDs, but I got 40 Ounce to Freedom for like 2 cents or whatever it was. So that was a good deal. I still have that CD to this day. So yeah, just an all around great song. I hope you know it, and if you don't, go listen to it. So John, do you know this one at all?
I do. I know this one, and I would say it's one of my favorites on this album, and I actually have a song from this record.
Oh, well, the bars are always open, and the time is always right, and if that's good work goes.
Coming up now, and I know this one too because it was like song 1 or song 2 on the greatest hits, I believe. But I always liked the title track off 40 Ounce to Freedom. I think now, like, I've got a handful of Sublime songs on my regular rotation playlist, but this is probably my favorite Sublime song. Either this one or the one I'm going to do right after, but I would say without a doubt my favorite track off of 40 Ounce. So, Lewis, was this a single ever? Do you know? Like, I know it's like either the first or second song on the greatest hits, so I have to assume maybe it was, but I don't ever remember like a video or anything for it.
Well, like the first album got like re-released, I guess, after they got signed, you know. So I know that Date Rape was a single. I'm pretty sure, but like I mean, this is like they were not nearly as big, so it may have been a single like limited release on a K-Rap later or something. But there's probably a good chance it got some airplay out in the West.
Yeah.
All right, I go into mine, and I am going self-titled. And for my first pick on that one, I'm going Same in the End, which is just such a good song. We're kind of going more into the straightforward punk rock sound of Sublime, you know, because they kind of play around with the styles there. There's a lot faster than my other choices. I think a lot of people really connect with this song. This one's usually seems to be one of people's super favorites, and no exception here. Love this one. Not really much else to say about it besides it being a great song. John, I know you like this one, so any fond thoughts about Same in the End?
There you go, man. I'm putting it right now. I did my best to avoid your picks in the other videos, but I have to pick this. This is probably my favorite song off the self-titled. I mean, Pennywise covered this too, right? Don't they do a cover of it?
Yep, they do. Yep.
It's awesome. I know like this Sublime, like their styles what makes them unique and cool, but I wish they had more songs like this. So it's my number 3 as well. It's if you don't love Sublime and you like this channel and you love punk, then give this one a shot. I think you'll like it because it's a good starting point for them if you. But Lewis, what do you got up next?
I am sticking with self-titled, and maybe I'm picking the cheap track here, but I'm going with like the biggest song Sublime ever put out, which is Santeria. So I was looking at this list. I felt remiss not picking their obviously best song that Sublime ever wrote. I mean, just not objectively, but just by sheer numbers and popularity and stuff. It is also a wonderfully composed song. Another change of pace, like from the other ones here. We kind of got a little slow down reggae riff with obviously a pretty fun melody. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. Will always be. I don't care if it's their biggest hit, but yeah, I love it. John, Santeria, any thoughts?
Yeah, this could easily be on my list too, man. It's an amazing song. Such a good chill vibe song. Absolutely no issues with it whatsoever. Even though like I think without a doubt their biggest song.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball.
But I am staying on self-titled. I'm going 3 on self-titled. I told you I might have to do it. I'm going with I think one of the last songs. I'm doing Time, and I mentioned this a few times on the channel, but my wife's favorite musician artist is Lana Del Rey, and she did a cover of this song, and it's one of the few Lana songs I actually like, and it made me go back and listen to the original version of Doing Time, and it's a banger, man. It's buried on the track list, but it's a really good song. I was gonna do Santeria, but I didn't want to have 2 the same as you, so it's a good one to slot here. So Lewis, thoughts on this one?
No, I mean, it's another great song. It was definitely in another video game, too, but I'm struggling to remember which one this one was in. Maybe this was in Thrasher, Escape and Destroy. It's in one of them.
Yeah,
but,
it is.
Yeah. Is that what, yeah, this is a great song. So I can't argue this pick. I love all of self-titled too much, too.
Summertime and the living's easy.
So I love it. It's a great album. All right, I guess I'll go into my fifth pick, and we are going to not stay on self-titled. We're going to go back to Robin the Hood for another fake deep cut, considering this album is very popular around the band's popular. But I'm going with STP, Secret Secret Pad. Just a very unique Sublime song. It's got kind of like, it kind of all over the place musically. There was a music video for this, like a low rent one that's really funny that kind of cashes it on the idea that it's musically all over the place with those big crescendos after the mellowed out parts. But one of my favorite songs, I love the breakdown where Brad's kind of doing his little soft singing. Just a good track altogether. Definitely I think that's got to be my favorite off of Robin the Hood. So if you're going to listen to one, John, you just want to try. And yeah, I don't know if you've heard this one, but incredible.
I did. So when you said you wanted to do this, I went into the Sublime Reddit and I was like looking at what people were saying were like the best songs, and this one kept coming up. So like I went back and listened to it. Yeah, it's really good. And this would have been like one of the first times I heard it. So great track. And for the first time ever, guys, I am trading my number 1 overall pick to Lewis for a future pick. So, Lewis, you are back on the clock with the last pick in the draft. What's it going to be?
Well, yeah, I don't know if I want to give away ones in the future. We'll talk about that. But just kidding. But no, I wanted to, since you didn't really know what to pick for a fifth one, I suggested that we just pick a B-side and, just a really good B-side for Sublime. And if there's one thing about Sublime, they have a lot of compilations and unreleased albums. And like I had like 20 of them when I was a kid. And this is before digital. We had like that whole booklet one, like everything under the sun. It was crazy. But I am going with Superstar Punani, which was actually on, I think, the 10-year anniversary version of 20, whatever version it was, a self-titled. I think they threw it on there. But yeah, just a straightforward ska punk song, really fast, well, not super fast, but pretty fast, and just kind of to the point. And it sounds a little bit more like 40 Ounce than anything else, but just a song that always stuck with me. Subject matter is pretty stupid but fun, and just if you want to listen to the B-side, this is a good one. Another good one is Get Out, which was my second choice to maybe put in. So another really good one. So, John, any feelings on either of those B-sides?
I don't know either of these songs, to be completely honest with you. That's why I had no issue trading my pick, but I will certainly check them out. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. So, Lewis, I put you on the spot in Rancid. I'm gonna put you on the spot again. Other than, I think you said Get Out, was there anything else that you had a hard time leaving off the list?
Yeah, off of self-titled, I'm a big fan of Seed, which is kind of like a faster song, which that one you'd probably like if you haven't listened to it. And then I think off of 40 Ounce, I would have picked 5446 is another really strong song. That, but I believe that's like a cover, or it's all hacked up together cover and original, so felt kind of like a cheat to pick it, but those would have been my two other ones.
Yeah, and like you said, when you said you wanted to do this, I went on Spotify and I had to scroll through like 16 albums before I got to like the studio albums. I was like, dude, how many times are they gonna re-release these songs? You could do a Sublime comp tier list if you ever want to. There's just, it's unreal.
If you really want to sell records, I guess you die, right? Yeah. I mean, that's how you do it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, them and like Jimi Hendrix, who just keep releasing the same things over and over and over. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Like I always say, if you want to suggest the video for us to do, make sure you hit the link down below and go to our Discord, especially the YouTube portion. And I'm in there almost every day. I got to check in a little more. I was on vacation last week, so I wasn't in there a lot. But if you have any suggestions, make sure you hit the link, join the Discord. It's a good way to interact with us and share new music, new ideas, whatever. But that's going to do it for this one. The Pulley tier list is up next, and we haven't decided on October yet. So if you got an idea, like I said, hit the Discord. But until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.